Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Al. My name's Bernard, but Al actually gave me the proxy vote saying that because he was late, he asked me to speak on his behalf.
Is that all I get? Thanks, Bernard. I've learned a lot in the last week with these lovely people here. I'm learning new things every day. I thought Bernard only had one shirt. He turned up in a red polo shirt for the first 5 meetings or so. And then last night he turned up in a pretty dapper little pinstripe suit. And I asked him, he said his red polo shirt was in the wash. I've also learned, I was hoping to be the loveliest candidate, but I've been usurped by Jack on that. He's gone as far as offering me rides to meetings and that sort of thing, but I think he's learned his first lesson in politics, which the other night he offered me a ride and I spent the extra time that I would have spent catching a bus, making myself a tired to make sure I look more fabulous than him. To be fair to the other candidate, Celia offered me a lift as well the other night, but I wasn't sure on the etiquette of which one of us would be sitting on the handlebars, so I went with Jack. I've also learned that Kerry Prendergast can talk her way around a question, and if you want to try and beat her on that, you might be sitting there for quite a while asking questions, and I don't think it matters whether you're right or wrong. I guess maybe that's one of the skills that professional politicians have, is to talk their way around questions. But, yeah, we've seen her do it tonight, and she did it last night. I mentioned some off-the-cuff remark about building we should have built the hospital in Pororua where the population growth is, and she says, oh no, because the population in Pororua pulled out some figures that proved me wrong, but I think looking at the figures, I'm probably right that most of the population growth in the Wellington region is north of Newtown. Population growth will not, I think, the hospital should have been at Pororua, but we do have a mayor that can talk her way around questions. And also, we've noticed that if she wants to do something, it will be done and money will be found. And if they don't want to do something, for example, like rail, then it will be studied to within an inch of its life for the next decade at least. And I think it should be done if it can be afforded. And I'm sure Celia will convince you that it can later on this evening.
Keep saying central government should pay for it. So it is a 2.1 billion for those roads of national significance. Surely we can afford 0.2 billion.
Yeah, we're not going to have, explaining for public transport to be better, and yet the bus prices are going up in October too. And no one I know is going to be on them because I can't afford a day ticket for $9.
Prices are going up and the quality's going down.
Yeah. Yeah, not
just
the only
service where that's happening.
Yeah.
If you drink any more, you'll be spending the rest of your time in the loo.
I think there's something in that water.
Yeah.
Your time is rapidly running out.
I was going to be sneaking off to the toilet anyway, I'm just looking for an excuse.
Tell us your policies.
Yeah, say something serious.
Okay. I think that policy making is too much in the hands of a small group of people who tend to be sort of middle class and middle-aged and white and rich. And I know I'm white and I will be probably already at middle-aged, but I think I'm probably the only candidate that had to put some of his possessions in the pawnbrokers to get his $200 to get his name on the list for the race. So I think if you vote for me, have me as your mayor, you'll have a mayor who has an understanding of what some of the people in lower socio-economic groups are going through. Now I think that in the last 20, 30 years, we've had a rapid widening of between the rich and the poor in New Zealand, and it's the further that gap grows, the more difficult it is for people to put themselves in other people's shoes and to imagine what it would be like if they were born poor, because it just becomes such this, you know, I mean, my dad
So what are you going to do for them? What are you proposing?
Well, I think the lady's talking about we should be building, should be growing all native plants in the region. I propose we should be growing food in the region. Havana's got a city of 2 million people and grows almost half the food in the city. I think the council should be helping people to start community groups, for example co-ops, so they can put their money together to purchase their groceries cheaper and also use that money to make purchasing decisions that can, for example, they can spend their money with local producers. Should be supporting complementary currencies like time banks and Wellington Independent Trading Scheme to give people who haven't got money possibility of jobs. And I think one thing that the council could be doing, which wouldn't be that difficult, is I think if you look around, there's a lot of commercial space, commercial buildings which are unrented, and figures say that they're going to be that space, empty space, will be increasing. I think council should be maybe offering a rate discount to commercial property owners if they'll rent out to commercial to community groups. So I think, yeah, a lot of people have good ideas, but quite often they come down to not having the space to carry them out. And I think with that, a lot of that empty commercial space, what we're it's like either a building sort of gives off signs of life or it gives off signs of death, and I think there's going to be quite a lot of, we're going to be walking through the city in a few years' time if we don't do anything. It's going to look pretty dead. So I think it's an opportunity to fill up those buildings with something with a bit of life. And something else that we could be doing is maybe using them, renting them out for artistic groups and stuff like that to maybe promote Wellington more as an artistic centre. So I think it's a way of keeping a bit of life in the city, whether or not there's money there. I'm aware that there's, you know, I think there's hard times coming in the coming century. I think the global economy is essentially collapsing to some extent or another, and we'll have to be rely on ourselves rather than relying on the rest of the world. I think we need to make sure that we're using everyone's skills to full potential, and that includes like a lot of groups, say immigrant groups who, you know, you meet these taxi drivers with engineering degrees, and it just seems such a waste. Yeah. But I think a lot of it's just actually having the background of coming from a different place in life. You know, having been to jail, and you know most of my friends that live on council flats, and some of them are homeless, and I think it gives me a different perspective that maybe most of the candidates don't have. And I'd like to, if I'm elected, I'd like to bring that to the council table, and if I'm not elected, I'd like to continue to bring it to the public mind however I can. Thank you.